Surprise! Hey, in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to draw a nose using a man's tie. That's right. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Come on, let's get to work.
Who draws.
The portrait here is going to be a 3/4 portrait. Okay, so there's my sphere. I'm going to start off nice and big there. Now this girl is looking almost straight at camera, okay? And she is looking straight at camera. She's not turning her head to the left or to the right. She's not leaning it forward and she's not leaning it back. She is just looking straight, but yet has a slight turn, so she's creating a 3/4 view. So let's just put the brow line in, and we're almost going to go straight across, just like that. And I'm going to put a little marker here. This is the center point, okay? And if you came in, let's go ahead and go back to our drawing here. And I'm going to look at this angle of the face. So I'm just going to come in here with a straight line. And this is going to be my angle right here. And what I'm looking for is this distance. Okay, that's the distance I'm going to look for. So I'm just going to look at my drawing. I'm going to go, okay, I'm right. That's the center point. That's what I'm going with right there. If that's the center point, let's get the far right side of her head here. And so this is the measurement that I'm visualizing in my head. So how many, if we continue this in this direction, that's going to be maybe 1, maybe about 2. You see that? So this is how I'm kind of measuring my proportion. So let's get that in place. So I got 1 right about there. That's the outside part of her head. All right, now let's drop in like her hairline on this side, and it's just kind of going. It's like a straight angle coming down here. And we've got a straight coming in here like this. I may have to adjust mine a little bit more to the right, but you get the idea. All right, let's get this center line in now. So our center line is going to come down here just like that. All right. Next measurement we're going to look for is this. Where is the bottom of her nose? Okay. So in a sense, now we can, did I put this on the right? Let me switch to the other layer here. Great. So now we're going to look for the bottom of the nose. And the next thing I do is, with my center line kind of established, which I have, I'm kind of looking for this. This is that's a nice measurement to look for right there. That triangular relationship. So if I look at my drawing here, I'm going to just kind of guesstimate right about there. I think that's the bottom of her nose. That's a good location. Good location right about there. Okay, next mark, let's get the bottom of her chin, okay? So we've kind of got that there. And it's like that's like almost a halfway point. You see that? That's like a halfway point. So let's do that. Let's add that little mark. So I'm going to come right about there. That's the bottom part of her chin right there. So all of these colored marks I have on this side, you know, these are all the things that are going on in my head. I'm actually not putting these things on my drawing anywhere. I'm thinking through these things, okay? And that's where you want to get, that's where you want to kind of get at. All right, let's bring this up here now. I'm going to come up here like this. Starting to map her face out just a little bit, right? Let's also let's get this forehead in here, and I think we can estimate now that we've got some sizes that are helping us, right? And we could even, I'm going to go ahead and drop in kind of a pseudo hairline back over here. This is just going to help me make sure that things are, help me with proportion overall, okay? Now, her top of her head is cut off in the picture, so we're going to have to estimate that. And all I'm doing right now is just getting a feel where maybe some of these other pieces are going to go. Okay, I'm going to get rid of some of my guides there. Let's go ahead now. Remember now, this is a 3/4 view, and we kind of reviewed that at the beginning. So let's go lightly on this. Let's draw in that top part of that tie. Is to think of a man's tie. And if you go in with this concept, if you draw something like that, that's the top part of the nose. This is where it goes underside. And then if you draw two upside down bowls, that's essentially how the nostrils will work. And then if you connect these two parts, those are the sides of the nose. You're looking straight at it in this example. Come down here with a slight angle. This is about where her tip of her nose is going to be, like this. Keep it nice. Keep it really light. I may have gotten her nose just a little too long, but we can adjust that. Now, one measurement is the width. The width of the nose is about the same width of the eye, so you can guesstimate it there. I'm going to go with something like that. And let's get in this. Let's look at this here. Let me show you this up. There's the corner of her eye. Okay. And here's the corner of their nose there. You see that? So this is where you might, what I would call a vertical alignment, all right? Where I'm looking at that edge of the nose. How's that lining up with the corner of her eye? Okay, that's a very helpful thing to observe. So I got kind of my nose established. So let's come in here with about more of my eye. Oops, wrong color. Let's look at this. There's the other corner of the eye right there, and look at the relationship between those 2 points. One is a little bit higher than the other. As long as we're here, let's also mark in those, and you could see that those two also. So it looks like the outer edges are slightly higher than the inside part, right? Like I said earlier, the width of the nose is about the same width as the eye. So I'm going to put a mark right there, maybe, right? Come across a little bit.
Hey, sorry to interrupt the video,
but I wanted to point out to you a mistake I just made. I just drew the eye a little too close to the nose. Follow this line. This is exactly where it should line up. Hey, while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Better yet, add a comment. I mean, listen, come on, really. How many artists make a mistake in the middle of a video, call themselves out on it? That's the artist you should be watching. Let's get back to work. We're about right about there, I think. All right, I'm gonna now very lightly draw my eyeballs in. Okay. Let's take a look at these eyelids before we draw them. You know what? I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. So we're coming up and we're coming down. You see that? And then look at this. This is the biggie right here. This is a little bit of an S curve. All right, let's look at the other side now. It comes up and then it has a long sweep down the other side. You see that? And this also has a little bit of an S curve. So we want to be aware of that, okay? I'm going to leave those on for right now to help us visualize that. Come up. Okay, got that one there. And a slight S curve. All right, let's go to the other side. Gonna come up a little bit, and then nice long sweep over there, and then a slight S curve. Good. And when it comes to eyelashes, you don't really have to do the eyelashes. You just have to make a thicker line. So let's look at the left side here. Just going to add a thicker line on the outside of the eye, just like that. I'm going to do the same for the other side. Okay, let's get that eyelid in. Now, it's not a perfect, the left-hand side eyelid. It's not a perfect round. It's a little bit straight there, and it curves around here, and it curves around there, just like that. Same thing on the other side there. Curves around slightly. Now let's get our pupils in. I look to the whites of my eyes and match the negative space. Okay. Add a slight tone there. Let's get these eyebrows in. I'm just gonna put like a single line here to establish about where it's gonna fall. And what helps me to determine that is I'm looking at this. Oh, come on now, cancel that. I'm looking at this negative shape. That's what I'm looking for. Same on the other side. I'm going to be looking at this negative shape. Other side here, okay. All right, let's get down here in the top of her lips now. And I'm looking for that top part of her lip in a relationship to the bottom part of her nose. Now I'm going to look for the corners of the mouth, and I'm going to line those up. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look for these corners, just like this. And I'm going to ask myself, where are these lining up? How far out am I going to place those? Okay, so let's do that. Let's take a look at that closely. So this side looks like it's lining up just almost with this pupil. And I'm also looking at the relationship between this and the side of her nose. Okay, so I'm going to go with right about there, I think. Other side lines up almost with the white. I'm going to go right about there. Okay, that's very, very carefully kind of connect those up. Remember, it's on the right-hand side of that. Wow, look at that. I see a little bit of a mistake on mine right away. I don't think this eye on my right side, I don't think I pushed it over far enough. But hey, it happens to all of us. That's why we're here, right? So, all right, so got that. Let's go ahead and get the center part of her lips here. I'm going to probably wake up in the middle of the night thinking about that. All right, and it's like, okay, get that center point there, the round circle right there. And then she has this nice big lip underneath, so come in here like this. Just adjusting mine ever so slightly. All right, and I'm going to, now her lips, she doesn't really have that top lip that has tone. They're about the same value, but I'm still going to just add a little bit of tone to my top lip there. Oh my, I spent way too much time at the beginning, but I think that was helpful. Sometimes it's better to get that, spend a little extra time on the construction. It'll help you in the long run. Let's move up to her nose now. I'm going to start working on her, the nostril on the far side there. So it's just like, almost like a sliver, just like that. You see that? Good, good, all right. It was worth it. Thanks for that confirmation, Jacqueline. There's so much information we try and cover that sometimes if you just walk away with something, one little tidbit that can change your whole trajectory of understanding. So good. I'm glad that you felt that way. So there's her other nostril, and now I'm just going to finish that off there and come in here with the tip of her nose there slightly. Okay. Let's give our girl here some eyebrows. What do you say to that? Just going to thicken those up just a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit of tone to the whites of our eyes because they're set back a little bit. Oop. All right, let's define this. Let's get into this hair just a little bit in the last 5 minutes. All right, so I'm just going to define the side of her face here just by coming down. I'm looking at her jawline. I'm just kind of following the line. This is where the barrel of her mouth is going to come here, right into her chin. This is going to sweep over here. And I just went real fast, and some of you are probably cursing my name. Kurt, slow down! That's okay. I'll slow down. All right. Oh. All right, there's the top of her head there where her hair is, and then she has this slight part coming in there. See that? Now, let's look at the far side of her head where she has this lovely long piece of hair coming all the way down. So it's a long sweep. So I don't want to use my wrist. I want to use my whole arm to get that sweep. So this is where the concept of drawing from your elbow comes from. All right. So here I go. I'm just going to try and get a nice line there. You see that? I drew that with my elbow, not my wrist. You'll get a lot smoother lines if you draw from your elbow. I'm going to do another one right there. Okay. And this kind of really, the back of her hair just comes around like that. You see that? Let's go to the other side now. Her hair is very straight. Look how close. Look how close it's coming into the side of her head right there. It's going to come in. It's going to flare out just a little bit. There's another piece down here. Look at that. Looks like she's wearing a turtleneck, so that it's coming in there. And then her shoulder is probably coming in right just like that. Let's get the back side of her back coming in. I see it like this. Yeah, I definitely on my right eye is too close to the end. I should have kicked it out just a little bit more, but look at that. Happens to all of us, right? Okay, next thing I want to do is I'm going to add an even tone. Now this is important. When you're going to add an even tone, let me just demonstrate down here for you. This is something to think about. And because we're drawing like this, we're going fast. So you're going to want to go fast, but don't go fast because we're almost done with the hour. And you'll finish this after I turn off the camera. But when you draw an even tone, you want to go slow enough that you get even coverage. See how that is an even coverage? What you don't want to do is do this. See, that's not even coverage. So we want to try and keep this as a nice even coverage. So I'm going to go into her hair right now and get an even coverage. Even tone. Then I'm going to also add some tone on her face. Same exact value that I just did. I'm going to go to the areas that I see on her face here that has those same tones. How do we do freckles? Yes, how do we do them? So be careful that you don't get them all start lining up. You see that? Exactly far apart from each other. Put them in lightly. Put some bigger. Try and get them as random as you can. And keep them light. Don't go too heavy. The secret of freckles. So we're going to leave it at that. Okay, everyone. Have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. A dad who draws.